I wanted to make a video about my character in Talisman League. I made a Freeze Pulse. It's a really old skill, but I've always wanted to make something with it, and you know, this league I finally did it. So, currently level 92, slowed down leveling. I made a different character that I'm currently playing with, and you know, with GMP Freeze Pulse in town I get 18.5k, so that's not too shabby. Few things about the character in general. I wanted to make an evasion, life-based character. There was all the rage when spellcasters would go acrobatics and then like bind over matter on top of that a while back, but I did things a little bit differently. There's probably ways to do this more efficiently, but I like the flavor of this character and I like the way it plays. I'll go over the gear real quick. This one, I just found it. It's just life, cast speed, add some damage to spells, mana regen, and then some leech. Doesn't have crit chance. This is a crit build, but it doesn't have that much crit. It's a good one, but you can get better if you're willing to pay more. I just was lucky to find this, so I'm using it. Helmet is just evasion, life resists. I have some rarity on it, because rarity is nice. You can get more resists if you get less rarity, no problem. Shield is spell damage, life. I went with an ES shield rather than evasion because you lose a lot of damage if you go for an evasion shield. This shield isn't that good. I prioritized life and chaos resists and a little bit of spell damage, but you can still get a higher spell damage roll, you can get spell crits, and that would be pretty amazing. 5-link evasion chest. This one is pretty good, but I'll show you the chest I was using. Basically, from the moment I could equip it, I was lucky to find this 5-link. Oh no, it's over here somewhere. Where is it? Oh, I guess I'm cutting this piece out. This one? Yeah. I found this white 5-link, spent a few chaos, spent a few alks, and you know, it's pretty good. Later on you can dish out on the chest with higher evasion, etc, etc. Boots, I'm using a Series Step for more spell dodge. You can use Dark Ray Vectors. The downside of using Dark Ray Vectors would be that you don't get the spell dodge, but you do get more attack dodge. I prefer having more spell dodge over attack dodge, because we get attack dodge through evasion. And I'm just using rare gloves. Decent evasion, fire just resists life. You can get tri-res here if you want, maybe some rarity, nothing too crazy. Rings I just focus on life, resists, a bit of strength. This one has rarity as well, which is neat. This is just life, resists, some mana. Just overall, really good ring. And then amulet, I needed some fire resist on it, so I put that on my amulet, and then just life, some strength to save passive point, crit multi, some mana regen. This could be better, but I mean, it served me well. And then belt is just life resists and some chaos resist. I have chaos resist on my shield, on my chest piece, and on my belt, giving me 75% chaos resist, so 15 positive in maps, which is something I really wanted to do with this build, is get a good amount of chaos resist. Before I go over the links, I'll show you the passive tree, because that will explain a few things. I'm playing a shadow, because I end up making a shadow in every single build I do. Just cast speed, elemental damage, get some crit, get some life, get the projectile speed, and then I go over to, well, I guess I'll go over the witch area first. Just get some mana, some life, you know, just the regular stuff. And then the interesting part, obviously I get Doomcast and some life there. I think the interesting part of the build is on the south side of the tree, where I get frenzy charges, acrobatics, phase acrobatics, I get these evasion life nodes, projectile speed, projectile damage, the flask node and mana node here, which I really like, some stun recovery, life, another frenzy charge, some crit, flask nodes. This one is fairly recent, I really like as well, cold damage and projectile speed. This is made for Freeze Pulse. And then a bit more life and flask nodes here. Currently level 32. This is a 112 point build. I picked up all my dual sockets really late, so you can get, like depending on how you do the build, you can get a bit less life, a bit less damage, some more duals. There's a lot of wiggle room here, like you can get these mana nodes if you want more mana regen. You can get these life nodes if you like, you can get this dual socket in favor of something else, you can get cast speed here in favor of something else. There's a lot of options here that you have. Just my duals real quick, this is just cast speed, crit multi and life, this one is good. And then my other one is pretty bad, just life and cold damage and then some random stuff. So the tree is fairly basic, just get life, get evasion, and acrobatics. Now, all things considered, I do have 5.5k life, which I'm pretty happy with. In town, I have 8.5k evasion, so that's 43%, and then 40% dodge, 46% spell dodge. I have a little bit of block, 15%, so that's okay. Good stun recovery, 28% stun avoidance, which is fairly nice as well. And then other than that, that's about it. I have a maximum of 6 frenzy charges. I did take the frenzy charge from Merciless Bandits because, and this is perfect to go into my links, I am running Ice Bite in my main links. There's different ways to do this, but I actually quite like this. It's given me constant frenzy charges up all the time when I'm using my main Freeze Pulse link. You can probably link this in a separate Freeze Pulse, you can link this to Herald of Ice in some way, but I like this, it's nice and simple, and if I need more damage I can swap in Added Cold, or I can swap in slower projectiles instead of Ice Bite for if I need single target damage for boss fights and such. With my mana I'm using Warlord's Mark with Blasphemy for all kinds of leech. Running Arctic Armor for style points because I like the rain effect, and physical damage and fire reduction is obviously very nice, and then just Herald of Ice. I have Clarity slotted as well if I'm doing a curse immune map, because I am relying on a bit of mana leech from Warlord's Mark to sustain my mana, so if I'm doing a curse immune map, switch off the Warlord's Mark, switch on Clarity, and Bob's your uncle. Other than that, not 20k in town, it's Freeze Pulse GMP, and this is the nice thing, I am off-screening with my Freeze Pulse, and this is not a quality gem. 20% projectile speed is from leveling the gem up, so projectile speed, I mean quality on Freeze Pulse really isn't that important right now, because I'm getting projectile speed here, 10%, 20% here, and 15% there, which vastly outshines any projectile speed you would get from quality on the gem. I also do not have any projectile speed on my wand, also not necessary, because I'm already hitting the entire screen. You might think, okay, but the damage falls off over distance. This is true, but it's nothing quite as crazy as, say, point blank scaling. You still do good damage. If an enemy was over here on these stairs, you would still be doing good damage from here. Trust me on this. Now, that's my main link, just Freeze Pulse, Spell Echo, GMP, Cold Pen, and Ice Bite. My final link would probably be Hyperthermia in most cases, just because it's an evasion chest and having green sockets is nice. I like the flavor of having mostly green sockets and still doing damage with a spell. Then Herald of Ice here. My wand is just Enduring Cry, I have just an Added Cold and a Freeze Pulse. These are just leveling, it's nothing too crazy. Not using Cast 1 Damage Taken setup, because I don't really feel like I need it that much. I've died a few times, but it's not that bad. My helmet, I just have another Freeze Pulse setup with Cold Pen, Hyperthermia, Spell Echo. This has like around the same damage, but it doesn't account for the Hyperthermia multiplier. I use this on if I need some quick single target against a Let Resist rare or something. But you could put a Cast on Damage Taken setup in your helmet, no problem, or in some other piece of gear. Shield is just Flame Dash with Culling Strike item rarity. Don't have faster casting on it. The cast speed is okay. And I have high movement speed as well. Then for power charges I'm using What a surprise. Blade Vortex with Power Charge on crit, increased duration. And then finally over here I have Blasphemy, Warlord's Mark, and then I'm actually using Phase Run because I have a shit ton of Frenzy Charges and Phase Run is fun to run around with. And then Arctic Armor because Arctic Armor. Now, real quick before I go into a map, just show you what it looks like when this build is in action, and this is what kept me playing, honestly. Oh yeah, flasks real quick. I have just increased recovery speed on this one, just to heal over time. I have so much evasion and dodge that I don't get hit too often, but if there is a big hit, this helps me heal up without using too many flask charges. Instant flask of staunching, curse immune Quicksilver. I was using freeze immune for a while. You can use adrenaline, doesn't really matter. I am using a Jade without the increased evasion on it. With this, so that's 8k, and with the flask I get 15k evasion, so 55%. It's pretty good. You could get a Jade of Reflexes and that would help as well. I do have a mana potion, because my mana sometimes runs out, but you don't really need it. It'll just slow you down sometimes. Let me just get everything going. There we go, that's everything up and running. And this is when the character looks like a Christmas tree. And that's what I like about it. You get all these charges running. You get endurance charges from Warlord's Mark. I am doing Enduring Cry in case I have to. You get power charges, you get frenzy charges, and that puts my damage up to 36k with everything going. So that's pretty good. Now, you can say, okay, but Aqueduct, everyone can run Aqueduct, so let's run a map. Just have an academy here, magic monsters, half regen, so I'm gonna mainly rely on regen from the leech from Warlord's Mark, and then just some 2 damage mods, magic monsters, no biggie. Now, a lot of the defenses from this build come from the fact that you just freeze everything. Don't like the fact that there's chilled ground here though. There's not too many mobs that actually get to hit you. Just because, you know, you're playing Freeze Pulse, you're freezing stuff. Even stuff like this, I can just sit here and cast most of the time, because I will be freezing them as well. It's a bit slow because of the chilled ground. I was thinking of running a Quicksilver with freeze and chill immunity for this. It does help. Oh shit. It's a pretty micro heavy build. You have to keep an eye on your flasks, you have to keep charges up manually sometimes. But you see, it's really not that big of a deal. I like builds where I have to press buttons other than just hold down right click and then move. Nice. I'm not running any golems right now, but you totally could. I have a few links open for it. Could have a ice golem or even a chaos golem if you feel like you need a bit more physical resist, but between Arctic Armor and the endurance charges all the time, I think it's fine. Just keep an eye on your charges, on your life, use your potions, and you're gonna be fine. Probably gonna skip ahead to the boss right here. So when I get there, I will get back to you. Alright, so come to the boss room. I'll just go with this. Now, this one, I've realized that sometimes I just need to take a few attempts at this boss. So it is a bit tricky. We'll see where he is exactly. And there's some RNG involved. Sometimes it's flame bearers, it's not good. There we go. That was a bit risky. But that's why we play this game. So that's just Academy boss. I don't face tank it that often, but when I do it hurts like hell. This is a softcore build, so I don't claim to be immortal. Just claiming it does the job. I'll wait a bit here. This is 2 damage mods though, so keep that in mind. Not like this is a walkover. Almost done. Oh, I missed. There we go. Well, that was that. So there was Academy boss with half regen, monster life, monster damage is fire, and chilled ground. It was a bit of a close call, so I mean you can play this in hardcore, you just have to take a lot less risks and get a bit more life, which you can do on the tree. You can grab it here, you can grab it here, still some life here, you can get jewels here, you can get there's another jewel you can get for 2 points here, so that's more life. And you can trade that out, like you can drop these in favor of some more life, you can drop that in favor of more life. It's okay. And the damage is fine, you can do maps with it. This one takes a bit longer because of the chilled ground, but that's about it. I'll clear the rest of this map and see you next time.